This will be a dementia short, and I am going to put very few words into this video. There are titles, and they have different authorizations and legalities about them. So this is advice to research each according to the state it applies, and the processes and resources are available in each state through aging and disability. So, roles and titles as follows. Classification at the first onset would be family versus non-family. So, appointees by the state would require an attorney, I believe, and research that. And it would be legal guardian, it would be guardian ad litem, and such. Again, we're referring to dementia. The other roles that would be either family or non-family could be caregiver, i.e. non-family, that would be an agency, but a family member. Could be proxy to assist making those decisions and scheduling. Private care, caregiver. Again, this would be a person that would be either family or non-family, certified or not certified. But a care plan should be drawn up, it should be signed, it should have a contract of length of time, it should have the wage indicated, it should have an emergency tree, which would be all the contacts, it should explain the authorizations that would maybe require your name being placed on a HIPAA paperwork to discuss things with doctors and any other care. We could add into that anything that would be adaptive equipment, could be something as simple as a fall monitor, a DNR bracelet. It could be things that are needed that are adaptive to the bathroom and showering, etc., the bedroom. It could be restrictions as far as what's going to be used in the kitchen area for safety issues, grab rails, etc. Those things are often done in advance if somebody's returning, say, from hospital treatment or surgery, post-surgery, etc. It may be somebody that's going to help schedule and assist a person with medications, post-surgery, with the physical therapist, etc. That sometimes comes under private care contracts as well. If a person is unable to return to their home because they live alone, this has worked out very well for me. I have done training with the facility before they were discharged so that I understood any equipment. It could be things that certified caregivers understand or that persons assisting could ask for training in. It could be the oxygen, it could be cleaning the tubing in it. It's very critical that all that is done properly. It could be catheter bags. It could be tube feeding. It could be monitors. Again, you would want to keep the lines of communication open if you have any questions, if you need supplies to be replenished. And you would indicate in that contract whom is tracking that, and you are going to restrict who is allowed to make payments, but you are most certainly going to address with that person for their benefit the insurance coverage of it, and if they need assistance with invoices and such. It does not need to be complicated. You simply keep it in a folder, and you keep a race board with scheduling on it, whether it's replenishment, staffing, etc. You are going to cover different things that may pertain to driving, insurance, having somebody either driving them in their vehicle, your vehicle, whether you're assisting them in a store with their errands and their shopping. I would, if you're going to do things that are private and confidential medical, I would also have maybe a family member be aware of your participation in that, and that the three of you would be open to sharing the discussions. So you could conceivably be a personal assistant to a person that is given proxy, or a person that is their medical power of healthcare. And you would defer to them, and then you would assist that person with that errand or that duty or whatever process needs to be done. So you may be dealing directly with the client or with a family member who has got a legal medical authorization. Again, this is not out of the realm of able to be done on a daily basis in a fairly simple manner. So I have indicated some of the roles that are family, non-family. I will throw out the alphabet ones. So now we have financial power of attorney, the FPOA, the POD, power upon death. You do not, if possible, need to be involved in anything that has to do with wills. Caring for an individual with dementia should not really involve any of that. I discourage probably discussing that at length at all with a person that is either early stage or later. Hopefully somebody will be addressing that other than yourself. So you have the POA, the POD, and you will have the medical power of healthcare. In each state, all these are very different descriptions and authorizations. And in my case, medical power of healthcare could be the person that the only person that emergency contact that is allowed to make any decisions in advance. If the relationship I have with the person is written as far as advanced directives, you may want to go ahead and add a couple of paragraphs in there to give validity to those decisions. In other words, if they do not want to be on any medical equipment, if they do not want to be kept alive in order to be a donor, I would most definitely make that substantial documentation, so that in the moment of that quick decision, you feel confident and you feel that they've also had access to those records, and there is absolutely no potential to have any conflict of interest there, or for it to later be refuted. Keep the dates current, and it's keeping those things on file with the primary physician. I will also say that people have very many different conditions that may place them in assisted living, but once a person is starting to be in a memory care dementia circumstance, I would discuss it immediately with the doctor, and that would be a primary diagnosis. So the doctor has treated them multiple years, is well aware of um, different functions with the body and in the aging or atrophy of those conditions. That's perfectly understandable that they're treating something that possibly in aging is not going to improve. But in regard to the memory as a primary diagnosis, this will indicate to the doctor that someone other than that person will address everything encompassing. Because a facility will be dealing with medications and atrophy, but they need to have that primary diagnosis for that person to be in the specific unit. There would not be any reason to go from assisted to memory care unit other than that reason that there's somebody else involved for their safety and well-being, that the staff can address all those future issues with confidently and with their doctor. Once you deal with these facilities, you'll understand that a care plan consists of many things outside of what do they want to eat and what activities do they enjoy. So it will be very clear to you immediately that they will address safety. They are a state licensed facility. They need to know if a person is capable in an evacuation of leaving an exit properly, and they will do routine fire drills, whether they're mock or otherwise, to pass state inspections annually for their licensing. And they will ask you certain questions pertaining to whether they're ambulatory. They may indicate that as such on the door with something only the staff is aware of, that that person should be evacuated as a priority and with assistance. If you believe that that is the circumstance, whether it's cognition or not, address that. It is relevant. And you would address that with the person that's moving in there. They may have only ever been in an apartment or senior housing, and they most certainly would be, maybe it would be unexpected to have a mock drill like that. If they've lived in their home, they're not familiar at all with that kind of a circumstance. If you're hospitalized, you never experience that. I shouldn't say never. You would experience it perhaps if there's a natural disaster. So again, there are different aspects of family versus non-family, and there are social workers involved as well. They can assist you with getting different things that are medical durable equipment. I have worked with the senior centers, and they have had donated walker wheelchairs, and they are kind enough to check them out to you indefinitely, and then you simply donate them back when they're done. I've been able to find adaptive equipment for the bathroom, whether it's to have a toilet with a raised seat, or to have a seat with the arms attached to it, or a shower chair, or a grab bar, or any other device. Some beds need a small rail. It's not a bed rail per se, but it is like a grab bar that helps a person when they swing their legs over the side of the bed to stand themselves up. It does not necessarily only pertain to people that do a transfer to a wheelchair. It helps many people, even if they're don't keep their walker right near their bed or use a cane. It's helps with safety if they're just feeling weaker and not particularly up to par. If there's any questions about the role of family versus non-family and how to contract and authorize that, there are many agencies willing to help you with that, and they will also make recommendations. If you make a one-to-one appointment and explain to them what's pending, the direction that you're going, and again, do it in baby steps. Do it in advance. Do it with mutual knowledge. Do it with consent that's written, and do it in baby steps. Neither person should be overwhelmed by the process. I know some things are absolute emergency scenarios, and sometimes hospitals can even provide you with temporary contract people that they're aware of. If you have a person that's being transferred into hospice care and you are from out of state and you need a person to go every day or be bedside or be your eyes, ears, contact, help video chat, whatever it is, a lot of times, I'm not saying that volunteers are available always for this type of thing, but you may be able to get a person that previously worked for a facility that's not retired and does this type of work part-time and understands the importance of it for family. And as always, I thank everybody for their prayers as everybody goes through this process together. We are willing to do shared chats, comments, and respect HIPAA laws and not use any names. If you feel like there's any question about a posting that you're going to comment, you may try to do this in a different form. Don't jeopardize the YouTube account rules about this matter or use it to express injustices. This YouTube account addressing is to help prevent that, but it in no way will legally guide you in anything you consider an injustice. Unfortunately, that is a area of research I could not provide referrals to. Maybe at a later date, I'll be able to address that, and I will post that as something other than dementia. I do have only one other video, and other than that, I'm not going to cover the topic of neglect or abuse of any being in age or circumstance. This is all empowerment conversation. And I think everybody that can keep that in their prayers when they contribute. Thank you.